you guys, welcome to Caffeinated Crafting. My name is Daniela, known as Caffeinated Gert around the interwebs. You can find me on Instagram all the time as Caffeinated Gert, on Ravelry quite a lot as Caffeinated Gert, and you can find the podcast at www.caffeinatedcraftingpodcast.blogspot.com. So, I have been on vacation this week, as I discussed. Oh, one more thing. I do have an Etsy shop where I sell my bags with the woven panels, and that is caffeinatedcraftarts.etsy.com. Just in case you're interested. It's more of a I need something to do with this woven pieces that I'm having a good time with, and people keep asking me about them, so I put them in the shop. There's some big ones in the shop right now. They're all like sweater quantities size, or most of them. They're big ones. I keep meaning to make some smaller ones, and I had every intention of sewing some this week, but the week just got away from me. Maybe tomorrow? I don't know. It's a hobby. So anyway, there's all of that out of the way. I have had a lazy but productive week, if that makes any sense at all. Lazy in the fact that I got nice sleep every night, I got quite a bit of crafting done, and productive in that we got chores done that need to be done. We did a little bit of like a day trip travel, and spent time as a family hanging out. It's been a nice week. I've quite enjoyed it. I could take another. It's too bad I can't. Work calls on Monday. But I could. I mean, really, who couldn't, right? Anyway, I did finish a couple of three things. I finished this. And, yeah, okay. And it's a dishcloth. It's a spirally dishcloth. I'll talk a little bit more about the construction of it. I have another one on the needles in a few minutes. So yeah, I did finish this one. I also finished a grandma's favorite dishcloth. You know, starts on the bottom and the bias and then works up and then gets smaller. But that one's already been grabbed and it's already in use in the kitchen. So I don't think I took a picture of it even. I used some leftovers. I'm trying to use leftover bits of sugar and cream, because I have all these odds and ends where I've knit dishcloths and I don't have like a full or even a half ball left, but I don't want to waste it. So for example, on this one, I had a pretty big piece of, pretty big chunk of brown left, and I thought, oh, I might get a whole dishcloth out of that, but I ran out, so the last petal's pink. I kind of like it though. Finished that. The socks that I moved you around. Stay there. The socks I talked about knitting, the DK socks, these are knit out of Cumberland DK by Twist Fiber Studio. The colorway is, what is the colorway? Hang on. I can look that up. I had posted it on my Instagram. I don't know where the bag is that I had the project in. What did I do with that bag? Anyway, let me see here. It's a something blue. I know, that's very descriptive. It was a cool name, but I could never remember what the name was because it was a longer name. It is Crystal Blue Persuasion. Right here. Crystal Blue Persuasion. This is her Cumberland DK base. It's super round and springy and heaven to knit with. I really, really love it. I use the pattern from Mina Phillip, Knitting Expat Designs, the Avenues. I used that for my texture. And I really love how these came out. Super fast knit because it was DK. I knit them on a size 4 and I cast on 44 stitches, so super fast. I knit the first one last weekend while I was listening to an audiobook. I knit like half of it one evening and the other half the next morning. And then the second sock, I knit most of it yesterday. I started the cuff Thursday, but then yesterday was Friday, Aiden had me, or got me interested in watching, it's a Minecraft sometimes. I haven't in a while. Actually, I did do some this week after watching the videos. Anyway, so there is this PBG Gamer on YouTube. And they have like game playthroughs you can watch. But the interesting thing about the one that I watched, there's several seasons. I'll finish the first season now. Is that they're doing a game playthrough. In the first season, their goal was to kill the Ender Dragon, which is, you know, all well and good, not all that exciting. But so there's like, I think 5 or 6 guys, but they're playing it as in, if you die, you're dead. You don't respawn. You're out of the game. So that makes it extra fun. And then there's different personalities, and you can hear them playing. You know, you can hear them talking as they're playing. And this one guy had never played before. It was just really funny. So it's entertaining in that I watch it and not get bored, but not so that I have to actually pay attention if I want to focus on my knitting for a few minutes. So it's perfect, like watching, and it's not TV, but you know, it's perfect for watching while I'm knitting. So I'll probably watch some more of that, and it's also inspired me to play some more. So I on Tuesday was Aiden's birthday, and he had cousins over, and they were playing and doing stuff. So I was not needed, so I did a little Minecrafting. I sat in the kitchen and while they were in the living room and just kind of kept an eye on them, threw food at them every now and then. That's all you got to do really at that age. So anyway, super fast knitting of socks. I think I have some more of this in my stash, the Cumberland DK. I know I do. So these are a gift, and I think I'm going to knit myself some because they're super fast and they're so squishy. I can't wait. So I can't wait to knit with some more of it. And it's a great thing to do. I actually have a pretty decent chunk left. So after I knit another pair, maybe I can knit a pair of striped ones or something to use that up. Or that might also be a good color depending on what Allie and Vicky do. They have the Knit the Books podcast. Allie was my previous co-host. And they're doing hats for kiddos. And so every month there's a different theme. So the leftovers from the socks would also make a good hat for kiddos depending on their theme and if I can make this color work. So yeah, socks for my hairdresser. Yay. Really pleased with how they turned out. It's a color that I know she likes. I knit her a hat back in December for Christmas that was kind of the same color, but a different tone, a much darker tone. And it was from Primrose Yarn Company. Another just super awesome yarn. It was her DK. But anyway, I love me some DK yarn. Can you tell? It's like not quite as plump as a worsted, but this one in particular has a really high twist, and it just makes it so squishy. It's not that thick either. It's almost more sport than worsted. You know, DK, it's called DK double knit because back in wartime when they were trying to not use as many factories for yarn production and other things, obviously not just yarn, but yarn in particular, they started producing DK yarn because it can be knit at a looser gauge to a worsted, or it can be knit as at a tighter gauge to a sport. So double knit, that's why it's DK. I learned that from my friend Dawn because she knows everything. But I've always found that interesting. So really, so if you have a DK yarn, you can knit it to a worsted or to a sport gauge. Anyway, next. I finished my super awesome, bright, fun socks that were from Gwen Spins in the Lisa Frank Black Light colorway. These are superwash merino, nylon, and stellina. Super soft. I used the Grand Central pattern. Again, this is my third pair of socks with this pattern because I just love the texture and it's so easy. I did stop. So here they are finished. I love how the heel striped when I did my Fish Lips Kiss heel. But I want to show you the front of the sock. So I don't like texture on the foot of my sock because if I have it in my shoe, I don't want to feel the texture on my foot. Just weird that way. I prefer a plain foot, which is why a lot of times I've always done vanilla socks because that way I don't have to worry about it. But I really wanted socks with this pattern on it. So what I did, I was inspired by a version that Mina knit for her husband. And if you get the pattern, it's actually also included. And I'm not going to give away any sauce, except that what I did is I did the pattern on the front of the sock, and then I brought it down to a point, and then knit the rest of the foot plain. So the texture stops, like here's my heel, it stops right as it would go into my shoe. So that way I get the look of the texture, but not on my foot where I don't want it. I found that's a great solution, and I might do that more often with pattern socks. That way I have the joy and the fun of knitting a pattern sock for myself, but I don't have to deal with it being in my shoe. So here they are, super lovely and bright. Can't wait to wear these. They feel really good. I was super silly. So on Wednesday, we drove to Knoxville. Drove to Maryville first, had lunch with Amanda, Maddie Cat of We Are Yarn, and stopped at Maryville Yarn Studio, which is the Hook and Needle. Super awesome yarn store. If you're in the area, stop there. It's just a really great yarn store. They have some awesome yarn bomb installations right now. Here, I'll show you my favorite one. So they have some like on stop signs and on the wall, you know, the usual kind of thing. But then they also have like geraniums in flower boxes, and in the geraniums there's little bees, like they must be crocheted. I don't remember, I didn't look at them that close. Little bees like on wire, so they look like they're in the geraniums. Super cute. But this was my favorite. Look, the yarn bombed this itsy bitsy bicycle. It's so cute. And for scale, here's Aiden with the itsy bitsy bicycle. Adorable. And then they had, let's see if I can find a good picture. We did selfies in front of the yarn bombing. We tried to do them. Well, this one's the best one we ended up with, I guess. Aiden was up top at the little rail, and then we were below. They also had a little section where there were flowers hanging, and you could take your picture in front of the little flowers. So it was super cute. They're about to be part of the East Tennessee Yarn Crawl, which is one of the reasons they did the yarn bomb installation. So those are all my finished objects, which is pretty good for a week, right? I didn't really weave anything, although I did put something on the loom yesterday. I spent the afternoon teaching my friend Dawn how to use her Cricut loom. She just got one, which is really super fun because normally she's teaching me everything I know, and I was able to share some knowledge with her for a change. Let me put this lovely bag over here. This is, and I still have a bunch left. I'm going to put some of this in my blanket, my Memory Squares blanket, because it's super bright and it'll look really great. And then I'll probably knit the rest into some shorty socks. Probably have to stripe it with another yarn, but I'm not wasting this. This is really good stuff. So I've got strings to throw in the trash. I did not work on my Wonder Woman socks at all. They're plain vanilla knitting, and I really didn't need any vanilla knitting. So those didn't get any love. Oh, I was saying, I was silly when I went to the mall on Wednesday. I had a place I was going with the whole hook and needle story. So hubby drove on the way there, and so I was knitting, and all I took was the rainbowy Gwen Spin socks, and I was at just past halfway down the foot of the second sock, so I only had like half a foot left to knit. And so I started panicking a little bit, as knitters do when they underpack their knitting. I normally always overpack my knitting. I was trying to be reasonable, and I shouldn't have. Should not have been reasonable. So I was in a bit of a panic, and I was in Maryville for lunch anyway, and Amanda was like, you've got to go over there and check out their yarn bomb installation. So I'm like, okay. So I bought a ball of yarn and had her cake it for me, so in case I did run out of yarn, I'd have another sock to start, which of course meant I didn't knit any more the rest of the day. I ended up doing the driving from Maryville to Knoxville and from Knoxville home. And while we were at the mall, the reason I really was worried that I wouldn't be able to walk the whole time, and I thought I would probably have to sit for a while and let the men kind of wander the mall on their own. But I managed to walk the whole time. So, which is good. It's really good. I was pleased. Which means I have new yarn. I bought this skein that I will probably just cast on very soonish. Both Sam and Aiden really liked it. It is Cordell, 75% Cordell, 25% nylon. The color is, it's from Misty Mountain Makers. Oh, the way she has it shoved in here, I'm like, how do I get it out? Okay, here we go. I got a tag. It's from Misty Mountain Makers. It's her halfling base, which is 75% superwash Cordell and 25% nylon. And the colorway is Sun Fingers, and it's from Misty Mountain Makers. She's local to the East Tennessee, Knoxville area, which is why I grabbed this one. I got some of her other yarn, and I really like her color sense and yarn bases. So this is a gray yarn with blips of yellow. So the yellow will just randomly show up periodically. So I'm really curious to cast this on and see how it'll knit up on a sock. It's got 435 yards. So I'll probably do a sock for either Sam or Aiden, and then have enough left over for maybe some short socks. I might have to stripe it with something. But I'm super curious to see how this will knit up. Christy at Hook and Needle suggested this one to me, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So I got that. And then she gifted me a sock blank. It was dyed, it's Banjo's sock. It was dyed by Moon Holler, who's not dyeing anymore. But she says no one has bought this sock blank yet, and I need it because it has my name on it. Because this is the colorway Moon dyed for me. And I have one of these, and I even have it balled up. But it's precious, and so I haven't knit it because it's precious, and I haven't come up with what to knit with it. So I'm super excited because now that I have another one, I won't be so afraid to knit with one. Does that make sense? So thank you, Christy, for giving this to me because it has my name on it. And so I'm gonna stick these back in this bag so I don't lose them. And that is at the Hook and Needle, which is in Maryville, Tennessee. And totally serious. They have They have indie dyers. They have like Barocco. They have, she said she made a point of when she opened the store of having a little bit of something for anyone. If someone wants to come in and wants indie dyed yarn, she's got that. If little grandma on a budget comes in and wants to get yarn to make a baby blanket, she's got that. So, and it's good stuff. It's not, she does, I mean, she really has an awesome selection. I just can't say enough about it. So, what else have I worked on this week? Dishcloths. Let's go to the dishcloths. This is in my great big bag here. This is a bag where I had found the fabric. This is before I sewed. And I had to have the fabric. But then I was like, well, what am I going to do with that? So I sent it to Diane from Kiki Boo Bags. And she sewed bags. And at the time I got more than one bag. And I kept one and then I used the others for prizes. So someone out there, I can't remember who, has a bag that matches mine. So I am knitting. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called Petal Dishcloth by Hazel Schrock. Oh, where are you? Hazel Schrock. There, you should see that, I think. I can't tell because I can't see the paper in the, there. It's super easy. You start with 16 stitches and then you do short rows round, round, round. I think I have one more petal, maybe a couple more petals. It's supposed to be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14? What? Okay, I've knit too many petals, so I guess I am ready to sew up my dishcloth to make it a circle. I just keep going until they look like they match up, and I guess I'm at that point. So I had leftover yarn. So this one's looking a little Christmassy. I had this left over, and then I had some red, so I'm just putting them together. I guess this is the right side. Would you like to see the right side? So now all I have to do is like sew that up there, and I'll be ready to go. It's like completely inside out and sideways there. Here, let me, let's do that. There. There. I'm using a size 7 needles. I think that's what it actually calls for. No, it calls for an 8, but I like using a 7 with dishcloth cotton. I have like, I guess this is like sugar and cream. Yeah, I have like sugar and cream and stuff in here. I have a bunch of leftovers, so I've just put a bunch in this bag, and I'm just picking what might go together. I want to do some actual solid color ones also, and I have full skeins down in there, down on the bottom. So I can gift some to my mother-in-law for her birthday in August, because she had seen some in this shape. This is not usually a shape that I knit. I'm all about the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth, and I like the Mama's Choice from Sarah Stevens for the texture in that one. Those are usually my two go-to dishcloths. But she saw at Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest, someone had some shaped like this for sale, and she really, really liked them. So I'm practicing a couple for myself, and then I'll knit her some. I knit her like a couple of those, and then I'll knit her some of the ones that I prefer that I don't even have to look at. I can just knit. Stick that over there. I did not work on Sam or Aiden's socks. These are both in SoFlo bags. I have one Totoro and one Harry Potter. These got no love. In my fringe bag, I have my wallet, which you surely totally don't need. I have, this is Blushing Zombies colorway. It's on Banjo Sock, which is the same base as that sock blank that had my name on it. It's from Moon Holler. I'm holding that with leftover online neon blows out the camera for the first section of my magic marled sweater. So here's what I got so far. I'll probably work on that some today. Maybe. I really just have enjoyed this week working on whatever the heck I feel like. It's in my fringe bag because I took it out and about, and I generally put whatever project I'm taking with me in my fringe bag because I use it as my my purse. Like I said, my wallet was in there too. So I haven't gotten very far, and I'm totally in the middle of a row. They're short rows. Not like short rows, but the rows are short. So let me finish my row real quick. Let me finish purling this little row while we're sitting here. And then I can show you my little mesh section more easily. I'm using size 8 needles, which gives me the large version of the sweater. I'm using 2 fingering yarns held double at all times. The first 4 sections are the same as the shawl I knit, the Magic Marled Mystery knit along from Stephen West. And this pattern obviously is also by Stephen West. I can show you pictures from the pattern here. I've got the pattern. I printed the pattern out. I have found for the longest time now I have used my iPad for patterns, but I have found that when the pattern has more detail, I prefer having paper to write on and stuff. So for something like the sweater, I've decided rather than using PDF Expert, which is what I usually use on my iPad, I find it more comfortable to use paper that I can write on. So here we are. This is what I have so far. Yeah. It's not looking like anything yet, right? But the color's pretty. I kind of have all my colors represented. I've got purple, hot pink, and orange all in this little section. I'm thinking with what I have here, that should be enough to finish that section. If not, then I'll just add another yarn. It doesn't matter. I might have some, because it's going to end on this peachy color. I'll probably try to grab something that's similar if I have it, and if not, then it'll just get some more hot pink because I've got lots of that. Let's see if I can show you this without giving away any kind of secret sauce. And all I have is a black and white picture. Actually, you know what? I can look it up on his Instagram, and then that way you'll get a color picture, and I'm not giving away any secret sauce because the way the picture is on there, you might see some of the pattern. And it is a paid-for pattern, so I don't want to give away any sauce. So let's find myself some Stephen West. He is West Knits on Ravelry. Speaking of Stephen West, I watched on YouTube yesterday, I watched an interview that he did with Christy Glass Knits. She does great interviews with all different knitterly people. So if you haven't checked her out, her channel on YouTube, you should. But I really enjoyed the interview. It was just very, very candid and very open, and I really liked it. He's such a fabulous person. So let's see here. This is a short version, which I'm not doing a short version. But here is a version of this sweater. And then let me find them. This is a better, now this is really colorful. Now keep in mind that mine is going to be all like the same color family kind of, so it'll be more muted, but that's the shape of it and the textures of it, which I think is just fabulous. Mine will look more like, not these colors, but more like this in the cohesion of color. This was also on his Instagram, and it's a lady that did test knit for him. His friend Barba Knit did the test knit, and I love her version. I'm hoping mine will be sort of like that, and that it looks like hers is mostly like purples, golds, and maybe some grayish colors. So I'm thinking mine might be similar as far as it being tonal. Not the colors, obviously. I'm using different colors. You know what I mean. So I am pretty excited about this. And oh, here's another picture of it being all spread out. Super cool. So we will see how it goes. It's a fun knit if nothing else, and it'll be super, super fun, super comfy and cozy to knit. To wear, because the shawl is super comfy and cozy to wear, so the sweater has to be also, right? All right, so that is everything I did this week. I did sew a pillow for Aiden. I did do a little bit of sewing. I'll show you a picture because he's out there lounging on it, so I won't go get it. I found this fabric panel last year, and I've been meaning to put it on a pillow, and I hadn't. So it's all kitty cat. So it's a 24 by 24 pillow, and the kitties are different pictures on the other side. So they're kind of like funny, sarcastic kitties. So I did do that. Here's a better picture of the yarn installation that's on the railing with my Aiden. Let's see. I think that is all the fun I have had for you this week. I did remember to pull prizes, so you'll know what you're getting if you are entering to win. So if you enter to win, if you still have a few days, you've got until the end of June to knit any pattern by Mina Phillips. She's got some quick little hats and stuff, so I mean, you could totally still knit something and enter to win. So one of the prizes will be this Plucky. It's bellow worsted. It's a one-hit wonder, so there's no colorway. It's a beautiful, beautiful aqua blue. And the other prize will be these two skeins together, because I think they will look awesome together. They were in a set that I won. I won on Instagram. It was a prize drawing that Backyard Fiberworks did, and I won 3 skeins. It was these two and a variegated that all go together. And I decided to keep the variegated and knit myself some socks with it at some point because it's super squishy. It is merino, nylon, and cashmere. Fingering weight from Backyard Fiberworks. So these two skeins will go together. So I've got 2 lovely, lovely prizes for the knit-along. So you've got until June 30th. Yes, 30th. To finish those up, and then I will draw prizes. So let's see, when is the 30th? The 30th is on Friday, so that's perfect. You've got basically another week because today's Saturday, and so next Saturday I think I should be home. I don't have any plans. I will record and draw prizes. Yay! All right, I am off here. I'm going to go and upload this puppy. My friend Jill's coming to hang out for the day. We're going to have coffee. I'm making lasagna and garlic bread and tasty. And we are going to knit and chit chat and catch up and take it easy. So you take it easy. Happy knitting and crafting this week. See you later.